Thank you for joining us on Blue Ridge Sentinel. It is a beautiful day in the blessed Commonwealth of Virginia, and we're looking at two different firearms that I think make a wonderful combo. First one being the Smith & Wesson Model 19, chambered in .357 Magnum. This holds 6 rounds of either .357 Magnum or .38 Special, has a 4 1/4 inch barrel, and has a pretty sweet fiber optic sight that I put on there. So we have that is our handgun. That is the one we are carrying on our person. And then we also have this really sweet carbine, and this is the Rossi R92, also chambered in .357 Magnum. It has a Hill People Gear 30 caliber stock pouch on here that holds a whole mess of extra ammunition, and this has a capacity of 8+1, and this can shoot either 38 or .357 Magnum. I also modded it with some Skinner sights, so instead of having that buckhorn, which I do not like buckhorn sights, I put this Skinner peep sight on here. I have a sling as well, and then a little leather wrap here to protect my fingies when I'm cycling the action and everything. Not necessary, but I thought it would look cool. So we're going to go over these two different guns, and we're going to just show the benefit of having a carbine in the same caliber as your handgun. And we're going to look at two different rounds that they both fire. So the two rounds we're looking at today is the .38 Special. This one is a lead flat nose .38 Special, 158 grains. And then we also have a 100 and I believe it's 135 grain .357 Magnum, and this is a hollow point. So these are what I typically carry in my revolver and in my rifle. It's a nice, very high velocity .357 Magnum round. It's a hollow point. I also carry these at times. These are just a nice, slow moving, heavy lead bullet. And we're going to look at them, look at the different velocities, and we're going to also show the benefit of having a rifle and a pistol. So let's do it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the velocity of the 38 and the .357 coming out of a 16-inch barrel, as well as the 4 1/4 inch barrel of the revolver. So we have our chronograph set up at roughly 7 yards away. We're going to start out with a revolver using .38 Special, and then we are going to go to .357 Magnum. We're using 2 rounds of each caliber. All right, starting off with the .38 Special. 657 feet per second. 712 feet per second. All right, now .357 Magnum, see the difference. 988. 945. All right, now we have our Rossi R92 carbine, and we are going to load it first with our .38 Special. All right, let's see what the velocity is. 994. 974. All right, let's try the .357 Magnum. 1278. 1253. So as you can see, there's a pretty significant difference in velocity just based off the barrel length. So that is a big benefit to having a rifle. To demonstrate the difference in rounds on target between a carbine and a revolver, I'm going to shoot a steel target at roughly 60 yards away with my carbine and my revolver, both loaded with .38 Special 158 grain. The reason I was a little bit more consistent with the rifle is because you have 3 points of contact with the rifle. You have your hand on the forend, hand on the grip, and then you have the stock in your shoulder. You also have a longer sight radius. With the revolver, you only have 1 point of contact. That's both, even if you use both hands, it's just on the grip. And it's out here in front of you. You have a shorter sight radius. Just the way it is. To demonstrate the difference in energy between the carbine loaded with 357 Magnum and the revolver loaded with 38 Special, I have 2 water jugs filled with creek water at roughly 7 yards away. So I'm going to shoot the one on the right with the carbine. And we'll shoot the one on the left with the revolver. It's a big difference between a 357 coming out of a 16-inch barrel and a 38 coming out of a 4 1/4-inch barrel. Well, having a carbine and a revolver in the same cartridge is great. You only have to buy one type of ammunition, works in both weapons. Definitely a game changer when it comes to the barrel length out of the rifle, the long sight radius, and the 3 points of contact. Make this a really good, nice, compact package. But the benefit of the revolver is, yes, it holds 6 compared to the 8+1 in the rifle. However, it's a nice, short, handy package. You can wear it on your hip, you forget about it, and they're a lot faster to reload. Especially when it comes to using a speed loader like this. You just drop it in here, twist, and you got 6 rounds ready to go. Whereas with the carbine, you have to load one by one, and sometimes out of a loading gate, that can be kind of finicky, and you'll never have issues with feeding in a revolver. As long as it fits in the cylinder, it'll work in a revolver. But when it comes to loading gates and the complex nature of a weapon that was designed such a long time ago, there can be some issues with this. So when it works properly, it's great. But it is slow to reload and sometimes can be really finicky. There we go. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Blue Ridge Sentinel, and we'll see you on the next video.